Hi folks, welcome back to the B29 restoration project.
That's actually where we're at right now.
I'm getting ready to redo the programming for these actuators. Like I said in a previous video, these little actuators are really nice. They're all metal, all stainless. The one downside to them is there's no limit switches on either end. So once it gets to one end, if the radio is still telling it to go to minus 100 or plus 100, it's going to keep trying to do that. The motor inside here is going to stall, and it's just going to start getting really hot. So you have to use these with a sequencer. That way you can tell them to go back to zero. And what do I mean by a sequencer and back to zero? Well, we'll do arts and crafts with Thomas today, or at least for this video. So what we'll do is in the jetty, when you have a sequencer, you've got a line. Let's move this a little bit further down so it's more in line with the center of the video. So we're going to draw the red line here, and we're just going to say this is 0. And then up here at the top, we'll draw a blue line, and then down here at the bottom, we'll draw another blue line, and we'll have plus 100 and minus 100 for your servo deflection. And then using our green marker here, basically what we're saying is if we don't want that door actuator to move, we're going to say, hey, we have 0 output. And then all of a sudden we want it to open, so it's going to come all the way down here to minus 100, and it's going to move, and it's going to stay here for a certain amount of time. And then once it gets to the point that we want it to stop, we're going to say, okay, sequencer, we no longer want minus 100, we want 0 again. And then it's going to stay at 0. And then vice versa if you wanted it to do the opposite direction. And the ability to do 0, 100 for a predetermined amount of time, and then back to 0 is what will keep those from burning out. Because with those, when you say minus 100, you're not telling it a position. You're really telling it a speed. You're telling it you want it to move as fast as it can to one end, or faster as it can to the other end. And it's going to keep doing that unless you tell it to stop, and we tell it to stop by going back to 0 at either end. But in contrast to that, if you tell it you only want plus a 50 on your output, it's not going to go just halfway to the end and stop. It's going to keep going all the way to its full deflection at half of its speed. So those little controllers aren't really like a servo controller like you would see in a servo where you can tell it to go to a position. It's more of like a fancy speed control. You're just telling it, hey, go this way at whatever speed you tell it. So you could really make them go really slow if you wanted to. So you could get a fast one and you could tell it to go slow, and it's going to keep going super slow until it gets to its mechanical limit, and then it's going to stall, and then it's just going to continue to build heat until you say, hey, no more movement, and you bring it back to 0. So you got to have a sequencer built into your transmitter or your external boxes or whatever that can literally say, hey, come out here, open, close, whatever you want to do, and then come back and then do nothing. Without the ability to bring it back to 0 at either end, you're just going to burn it up and waste money. So, like I said, it's kind of a pitfall to them, but really, if you're tight for space, which the B29 main landing gear actuators are very tight for space, that's about the best option you're going to have. And the next couple of options that you've got, if you don't want to run those, you have, these are for Gellies, which I believe now is Actuonics or something. I don't know. It's somewhere like that. These are actual servo linear actuators. So it's got a potentiometer where you can tell it to go at any intermediate position. It'll stop. This one is a 250 millimeter stroke, so it's 3 times the stroke of this little metal one. But I mean, look at the difference in sizes there. You're talking about a number 2 pencil compared to basically a half-inch drill bit. It's big difference. And then even like the electron actuators, which I really like, they're kind of in between these two sizes. So anyways, enough hammering on about the B29 gear door actuators. Let's get in here to actually programming the thing. So I got all the batteries installed right now. They're all hooked up, and this one actually with the Jetty has an RC switch to where you can turn the airplane on and off from the transmitter. Now we see the gear going up. Apparently I forgot to plug one of those up, but there we go. You can see they mostly all go up. So I'm gonna have to figure out why that one's not working, and we'll figure out that here in just a moment. But you can see all the doors have opened and this gear still haven't come down. That's because of how long it takes those original setups to work. So there we got that. Well, I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera off, figure out this one gear door, and then we'll come back to work. All right, folks. So it seems like I just had a bolt a little too tight. That was preventing it from retracting. But everything is now working as it should. So get the camera here set up. We'll do a quick little gear swing for you. The gear is working off a 6-cell LiPo, so it's a 22 volt system on the main gear, and then it's just 6 volts for all of the actuators. So move this flashlight out of the way, and here we go. And of course, the one door doesn't want to close. I think that bolt's just a little tight, but that's why I bought extra actuators. But anyways, bring the gear back down. And the gear swing on back out. So that's pretty much it. The gear is functioning. It all works as it should, other than that one door that's hit or miss. But like I said, I think that's just I think that is just the actuator being a little too tight on its bolts. You can see now it works this time. And back down we come. So there we go. So again, the gear works off of a 6-cell LiPo. It's going to have more than enough power to do its thing, and the airplane is more or less done. There's a couple of days of good weather. It's actually really nice outside today, but it's supposed to be raining, and maybe tomorrow it's supposed to be nice temperature wise with a little bit less chance of rain. So maybe tomorrow we'll get this thing outside, we'll get the wings put on it, and we'll get some really good pictures of it out in the sunlight with everything assembled on it for the first time. But essentially, it's done. There's really not a whole lot. There's a couple more videos that are going to be coming out, which will already be out by the time this video is probably out. Maybe not, I don't know. Might surprise you guys with this video before those videos, who knows. But yeah, we'd like to thank everyone who has donated. Without you guys, we would not have this thing done in the year of 2024 and ready for 2025. We can't wait to get out and show this thing off and share it with everybody. We're really excited with how it turned out. It looks phenomenal. It's even more impressive in person than in video. So we're slowly working on figuring out what events we're going to go to for 2025. We've got a handful that we're going to go to, probably 2 or 3 big ones, and then just a bunch of little local ones here to us in the Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, West Virginia area. Try and kind of make the super long road trips few and far between in 2025, just so we can be close to home to really kind of get this stuff ironed out on this thing and make sure if anything big that needs to be changed, like we're close by and we can get that knocked out pretty quickly. But we're definitely going to make a couple of big events in 2025, and 2026 is going to be even better if it lasts that long, because you know how the hobby is. Sometimes it gives you and sometimes it takes from you. So anyways, that's a quick little update. Gear swings, everything's working, everything's programmed other than some telemetry stuff. But when it comes to being flight worthy, waiting on 2 propellers. They're supposed to be here after the new year. So this thing will be ready to go very, very soon. And we will definitely be getting lots and lots of good videos of the maiden flight. So until next time, y'all have a great day.